Hello everyone, welcome back to another Fallout 76 video. Let's go over the legendary script system and unveil 12 things that you really need to know before the new legendary vendor comes out. Hello again. So Bethesda has released patch 9 last week, and one of the features that came with it is the legendary machine, where you can pretty much scrap your legendary items for a new currency called Script. Now, they have done this because they want us to prepare for what's coming next, the legendary vendor, which is coming exactly in 2 days from now. And that's great, but there is a lot of information that you should know right now, and maybe you are not really aware. So I'm going to give you a little hand here and tell you 12 things that I really think you should know right now, not just for the future, but also for your current farming and, well, things to expect really from this system. So let's start. Alright, so let's start with the legendary machine locations, and Bethesda has added one legendary machine to every single trading post in Fallout 76. Now, I read some posts about this on Reddit, and many people are complaining that machines are missing, but that's not really the case, at least not for me. But sometimes when you relog, server jump, or simply fast travel, the machine might not be there instantly. Why? Because it's supposedly the last thing to load. Maybe because it's also the last thing they added in game. But if you wait a few seconds and maybe a minute, you will eventually see it, as you can see. But there are many bugs, such as this one, which I'm not quite sure. It's like a texture bug. But that doesn't mean the machine is not here. Look inside and yeah, it's right there. So be aware of the bugs and the loading timing for this one. Just be patient or relog, restart your game, and the machine should be there for you. The second thing that you really should know is the legendary script rules. So by standard, you can get from 3 to 40 script per legendary item, but there are a few rules that you should have in mind, and level here doesn't mean anything. So a level 5 item or a level 50 item will give you the same script if it's the same tier. And by tier, I mean the stars, the rarity of your item. That's how the system works, and that's how the rewards will work. So there are two categories right now. It's the armor category and the weapon category. And that's all it matters when it comes to scrapping the legendaries and receiving script rewards. But let's get into details with the next points. The rules for weapons are very simple. So 1-star weapons will pretty much sell for 5 script each. And it doesn't matter if your weapon is a level 5 or a level 50, it will always give you the same amount of script per item. Now, for 2-star weapons, you can get 15 script. It's 3 times more than 1 star, and that's great. Still not an amazing result, I would say. It's okay, but it's nothing impressive. On the other hand, 3 stars legendaries will give you 40 script. Now we're talking, that's much better, and that pretty much means you should save all the 3 stars you get, because no matter how shitty stats they have, they will still give you 40 script each. So the more, the merrier. Let's talk about the legendary armor rules now. So you can get for 1-star item just 3 script. It's quite shitty, I must say. But again, you get 3 times more for 2 stars. It's 9 script per legendary. And finally, for the 3 stars, you get a small amount of 24. In general, you get way less script than weapons, which I'm not quite sure why, because armor is just as important as weapons and they're not that easy to get. I feel like getting armor is more difficult than weapons, but Bethesda seems to think otherwise, or maybe they are telling us that armor is not as valuable as weapons. Or maybe it's because wooden armor drops quite often, but the others, like robots, they don't drop as often. Anyway, it is how it is, and I'm just telling you the rules and how things work here. The daily limit for scrapping legendaries is 150, and you can easily see this at the right bottom corner of the legendary machine interface. Now, every time you access the machine in 24 hours, that amount will be there, and that's the daily cap, which means you can pretty much only get that same amount for any amount of legendaries you want to sell. But once you reach the 150, you should keep everything else for the next day. Otherwise, you're going to be wasting script and you don't want to do that, do you? So better save it even if you don't have that much space left in your storage or inventory, but at least keep the 2 and 3 stars because they are the most valuable here. Besides the daily cap, there is also a total cap for script, which is 1000. As you can see, this Reddit post made by Apex I got, he has told people about his experience and he has been upvoted by hundreds of people, which are basically confirming that the cap is at 1000. Now, I'm only at 700 right now, but I do believe all these people are right, so I'm informing you as well, in case you don't know. Something else that you really should keep in mind is that you can buy your items, but you cannot exit the window. So when you are scrapping legendary items, they will appear in the machine interface, but they only stay there if you do not close the window. Unlike other shops where the items kind of stay there for a long time, in this one that doesn't happen. So be very careful with what you script. If you end up scripting your main weapon by mistake and it happens that you have already closed the window, then oops, it's already too late and your weapon is destroyed, like gone forever. You won't be able to get it back. I know it kind of sucks. It should be like the other vendors in my opinion, but these are the rules and that's why you should be well aware of them. Well, so part of the legendary system is already implemented and you have probably been scrapping all the legendaries you don't want or need for script. And you have been doing well, that's the point, preparing for what's coming next. But you cannot buy anything with this currency right now, but you will very soon because the legendary vendor is coming in 2 days from now. And we already have more information on how everything will work. Bethesda has released a news a few days ago, and we are able to predict what's coming next and how to better prepare for it. Purveyor is a mole rat, and she will be the new legendary vendor located at the train station of Berkeley Hills. And that's a pretty okay, I suppose. So I have visited this area and the train station is currently closed, but there are some holes in the windows and you can kind of sneak peek inside if you have camera lenses or a scope in your weapon. And I have done that, and yeah, it's definitely in here because I could find a few signs that look exactly like the pictures Bethesda has published. One of them is this sign right here that says fun stuff. It's red and yeah, It's exactly like the one in this picture. So the vendor will be right there selling stuff to you in the middle. And that's pretty much where everyone has to come to spend their scripts and get new legendary weapons and armor pieces. But first, they have to release this content and make it live. Something else that you really need to know is that the rewards will be kinda random, so you cannot pick exactly the attributes that you want for your weapon or armor. All you can choose is the tiers of the weapon, armor, any item you want to purchase really. So you have 1 star, 2 stars and 3 stars options. And of course the script prices vary with each tier, but overall the rewards will be completely random and you will never know what are you going to get next, which is kind of fun and exciting in one way, but it can be quite frustrating in another way, because if you really want a limited amount of stats and then you never end up getting them, then yeah, it's a bit frustrating, but this is how the system will work. As I just mentioned, the vendor prices will depend on the rarity of the item, and again they are separating things between a weapon and armor tiers. So as you can see, everything is cheaper for armor tiers. However, the weapons are a bit more expensive. So for tier 1, 1 star, we have 25 script, then we move on to 50, which is double, and then to 100, which is triple. Very straightforward, I would say. Moving on to the armors, we have 1 star with 15 script, then we move on to 30 script, and finally the 3 stars are worth 60 script. It works pretty much the same way, double and then triple the price as the 1 star. For the last point, I saved something that I'm not quite sure why is it happening. So I found out that you can't scrap certain legendary items, both weapons and armor pieces, and I don't understand why. So it's not based on durability or mods, because I haven't modded any of these items that I can sell. And in terms of durability, there is one item that I'm wearing and it shows in the machine, where the others I'm wearing, they don't show up at all. So I cannot find any sense or logic of why is this happening. Maybe you know. If so, do let me know in the comment section below. I would very much appreciate it. And with that, I am concluding this video. I hope that you know a little bit more about the legendary system. If not, well, I tried my best to gather all the information I could from Bethesda, from what's live in the game, over Reddit as well, and I don't think there's anything else that I could add, but if you think there is something I missed, then do let me know, please. I am always up for critics and feedback too. Anyhow, that's going to be everything for today's video. I am Reta Branco. Thank you so much for watching until this point. And as usual, if you are new to this channel, then don't forget to hit the subscribe button below to allow me to grow a little bit more every single day. Also, if you would like to go a step further and support me, then feel free to check my new Patreon page. We are growing there as well. Other than that, thank you for watching, thank you for commenting, and thank you for being around. Without you, I wouldn't be able to make videos, continue the channel, and so on. I will see you in the next video. Bye bye!
Wow.